Yo, yeah, back again. Been a minute. Took about a week off. Got about an hour and change. So figured I'd pop on. Gonna be out the next couple days as well. So it's kind of a false start in terms of coming back, but oh god, the trash truck's here. Lovely timing for always. Yeah, let me just do this real fast. Let's start. Finally got this boom mic boom. The fuck? Yeah, kind of see it. Oh, yep. Quasi professional. Slowly building this thing out. Also lowered the bit rate. So if you have any quality problems, let me know. Hopefully it will not. I know it's dropping frames last time. It doesn't look like it's dropping frames right now. So that's good. Internet was slow yesterday coming back. That wasn't good. I don't know. I don't know. And my stream deck's not working, so I'm always going to be looking down there. As always with chat and with managing all the different scenes and all that stuff. Audio should be better. I don't know if it's too loud though. That's the one thing I'm kind of worried about because the mic is actually where it should be now. I do want to try one thing real quick to see if I can fix a problem. Let's see. Hold on. Is this? Oh, okay. Well, that's good that works. It's good that works. There's just some things with noise reduction as I'm noticing the fucking trash truck going by. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, so I took a week off. I really didn't do much of anything. I did a little bit of house cleaning here and there. I have my laptop. I had really shitty internet. I did a couple little things like as I was doing the, as you can see up in the top there, like the logo kind of doing that sort of marquee bit. Although I don't know. Oh, I think I don't know what's going on in terms of why it's happening, but some of these page load animations are just causing it never to actually complete loading, which is really fun. Um, Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. It should be about 10 seconds here. I don't want it going all the time. I thought about having like a constant marquee. Um, it's that's not your stream. That is okay. I might need to close some things down in the background, sadly. And I'm also looking at whether I use my laptop for capturing. Um, Maybe it's just too much workload for my machine somehow. I don't know. I mean, doing heavy web intensive stuff while capturing and broadcasting all from the same machine, maybe it's not the best. So looking into doing that as well. So yeah, if you have any requests, anything you want to chat about this morning, I just figured I'd jump on, um, kind of see what's what. Because I know I've kind of fell off there for the 6 days or whatever that I was gone. But I've got plenty to do. What's that? Like an up arrow. I've never seen that before. I know there's been updates to webflow right as I was leaving. I haven't seen any of them. But yeah, where was so I do want to do a stream about like coming up with some more of these interactive um that trash truck's so loud. Um yeah, like coming up with these oh I can't even scroll. Maybe I need to shrink the screen. That's incredible. It's clipping out all of that trash truck that's outside. Love it. Well, this is not the way brought up. Very confusing on what's going on right now. It's what's supposed to happen. I don't know why the editor is being so obnoxious. And I can say, like, from some of the cleanup I've been doing, um, it's very helpful to use M units. I just don't have to, like, I don't know what it is about M units and the way it scales across different font sizes, but for the specific settings and the applications I have, there's been a lot of noodling going on back and forth to try and find out what the right one is, but um, I've had to do very few, like, I'm finding much less kind of nitpicky type shit as I'm going through like down to mobile. So if you're wondering what units to use, my personal recommendation would be MU. Although this letter space, oh, actually I don't. Yeah, this should be M. I've got it somewhat figured out in terms of what it should be. Um, yeah, see, cleaning up all these different, because I've used M units for this font. I've used the basis is view width. It used to be on view height. So there's all these like, in order to get things to line up properly, it's um, it's kind of a mess when it comes to the different units that are going on here. Um, Also did some thinking about a schedule and what that could look like. Oh, that really good. I've come to realize like my life as it is right now, it's going to be kind of hard to come up with a definitive schedule when I stream. I think I can try and block out times, and I'm gonna try and do my best to sticking to that. But like as it pertains to my work and my life in general, I'm very bad with scheduling, um, and like living by a set schedule, and it's it's frustrating for everyone else besides me. Um, Unless it's someone else who lives on a set schedule. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around the best way to do that. Um, yeah, it's I definitely see the value for people who want to kind of make time to come to these streams. I think there's some people who keep coming, and there's dialogue amongst people who are showing up. So I understand the value of being having that information, but I just don't know how I can do it in a way that's um, I don't know, that's going to be accurate, and it's not going to like make this feel like work. I think what's good about this for me is like I can just come on whenever I have time. And how much time I have going forward, TBD, with all these projects potentially kicking off, or actually just going back to work in general. Um, yeah. So also opted to, so I could never figure out why there was like a hover state. There's like a hitch in the hover state. Um, like if you hovered over it, it would do that sort of marquee scroll, but it would always have this weird hitch, and I could never figure it out. So I still haven't figured it out. I'm just changing it. Like it's just going on auto scroll. Like I don't know what else to do. One thing I'm having, one thing I'm like noticing that's kind of interesting is like when you loop animations in webflow, it's like using the initial state. Um, Kind of fucks up the ability to loop it, which is really strange. You wouldn't think that. Um, and the fact like you see how it like wipes back, that shouldn't happen at all. So this is another one that is it's confusing me in a different way. Um, oh, I got rid of it. Oh, sorry, as I whack the mic. I should get used to that too. I'm sorry. Duplicate. Make sure I'm yeah, red screen. So this should be 0. So just as a quick test, just to kind of troubleshoot this. So 2 seconds, and then if it loops. So it did return to its initial state. But the problem is like animation previews sometimes are a little weird. See, that's not what it should look like. It would be 0. Oh, maybe that's the causing the problems. Maybe it doesn't need this. Maybe I'm just love to see it. Sure, I can get this correct. And so the only way the way how I'm doing these animations is I have a set width, regardless of the size. So like the div, like the text element, has a fixed size. So it's fixed size, fixed pixel padding. So then I can move it to a very specific pixel distance. And that'll get me to like that should mirror the beginning and end state. So there shouldn't be any sort of um any sort of jump between. It should just like continually go. Like it shouldn't like and there's hitches in this too. So fucking confused by this. Linear 0, 0, 0. Carousel. All elements class. Oh. Oh, that doesn't make sense either. Like, why is the first one? Am I crazy? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, no, I am crazy. Yeah, this is weird. Only children with class. The other problem, what? Yeah, maybe I need to do this the right way. So right now I'm moving each individual element, which is not advisable. So I have this arrow. I have this as my container, but I think I need to just move these as a single element. Actually, save my time. Way. That here. This way I don't have to like drag it 5 times. Other things I'll just have to redo. It's really that easy. So this is creating the masking. So overflow hidden, absolute position. So let's see this container for so well, trying to think so I can do this so I just only have to do it once. And this should be more efficient than animating all those elements. So like 5. So instead of animating 10 elements, I'm animating 1. I've just like hesitated to redo this. But because I have these all set up for classes, if I do this correctly, I should be able to just do it once and do it everywhere. Yeah, so now I'm just animating the 1. I wonder if I just take it off class, if like causing some funky shit. No, I want class. So like literally what I was just talking about. So it'll be on all of them. So so I have it affecting the class of S right arrow. So it's slider arrow right. When this comes into the view frame, which is basically the same as loading. That's one thing I didn't know if I was causing problems. Because if you want something to like basically on load, like let's say it's in the hero, sometimes they do like a page trigger. That's one way of doing it, and then duplicating it on every fucking page, and it's really painful process. Or you can just put it as a class element when it scrolls into view, which it's already in view by default when it loads. I didn't know if I was causing problems doing that. I did. Um, let's see comparison between the two. There you go. No fucking hitch. I mean, there's a slight hitch, but that's much better. Much, much better. So I should reduce the duration just for testing because sitting here waiting it for it to loop after 10 seconds, like. That's supposed to be like just a slow passive marquee. And I've had thoughts of bringing back marquee elements, like on the product pages. I just feel like it's missing something, and I had it in the past, and I could never figure out um, the marquee element. This will be see carousel control. That's one thing so in general, one thing I learned is just animating things as efficiently as possible. Um, if you can do it with one class, you probably should. So instead of like, if you have a class with one element or multiple elements inside of it, instead of animating each one of those things, you just animate the container of all of them. So this is kind of the result. Should be just this passive. Just brings attention to it, and like it helps with sometimes like the visibility isn't great. Um, some of these areas, and so I have to do this now for all of them. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but there's ways to streamline this a little bit just because of the classes. So now I can just copy S arrow right. No, you can't copy it. So next button, get rid of the next, paste. So me and my bitching, it's really, and because of all the class usages, uh, sometimes tracking shit inside of elements um in the navigator, whatever it's called. Yeah, navigator. Painful. There we go. So now just sort of passive elements. So that was the one thing I did like, and I think I keep bringing it up, is like just this little um looped animated GIF of a triangle and a square flashing. That's helped. I think it gives it some life. And then there's like a flicker animation that goes on top of this. So um bit of a hitch. I wonder if that's the preview though. That's weird. But so like right now I'm trying to breathe life into this because I think right now this lives within kind of like your traditional like with a lot of the updates going to title case versus all caps, leaning into more of like the negative space. Um I think it always has. It's kind of always had that like a more organic feel to it. Um but I think leaning into some more of like the motion component is, I don't know. I think it's something I want to do. Um, it just seems like it helps differentiate it a little bit because I think that's like the blending of my backgrounds. So if I have a purely like an editorial thing, I think it's like not doing it's doing me a disservice when it comes to like representing my content creation side. So how do I create like a aesthetic that kind of nods at both of them? I guess is what one thing I do want to do, so as I was thinking about that, I've wanted to have that sort of like meta, like the timer. That's something I do want to get, is the timer working. This kind of shit on top of these elements. So it's kind of like a sticky element that sits on top of these. So let's see if I can do that. Oh, and thank you to everyone who's been supporting with the wallpaper packs. That's been super awesome. I mean, it's $1.99, so it's not gonna like it's not gonna change my world or enable me to do a bunch of crazy shit, but it is super helpful. Appreciative. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this thing to work. So I think all I really need to do is just have this as a sticky, like mirror what these are. So these are sticky 30 view height. So this is sticky. So the position's 60 view height. Um, auto. Now you can see it's there and it should stay. I just do like this. I need to be more calculated when it comes to like setting my Z index. I just like, well, fuck it, I want it on top 100. Then I get to another instance like, damn, I really want this on top 1000. It's like fucking arms race. And then I spend time cleaning up where is it? So because let's see. Hey. Yes, there we go. Works. Fuck. Where is it? Just had it. Fuck you. There we go. Oh, so this is. I'm gonna pay for this. I proliferated a lot of really terrible decisions with how like these markers. This is like everywhere. It's marker container, marker holder, section context, C slider, top meta. What the fuck? And it is everywhere. Realistically, it should be a symbol, but there's been places where actually I know why it's not a symbol. So if you go to the called the ooh, oh um yeah, so like with the on the originals detail page where I have like all the related originals, that's a symbol, the whole thing. And they don't let you do nested symbols in Webflow. Sure, they have a great reason for it, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I've avoided using symbols for that. I should probably just make it so it can be everywhere that's not a symbol and then break it. You can detach from the instance of a symbol and then add it in. And that kind of, I don't know, makes it easier to update. So I'll probably have to do that just because it shouldn't be that bad. It's just gonna be a matter of like deleting this, like making it correctly, making a symbol, and then pasting in the symbol everywhere I have it. And then anytime I make updates going forward, it's constantly gonna be updated, except for the one instance where it's in a symbol. So, oh, and see, I have this like shake combo class. I don't know if that works with the symbols. I was trying to name this guy. So this is container. Sticky meta. My class names are long. I don't think it's ideal. So one other thing I have to do here, if I'm gonna have this stick, and I believe I have the images as buttons. I hate this workflow. So this is one of the updates they made, and I just for the life of me can't figure out why the fuck they did it. It's so dumb. Like why add an extra click just so I can open this up? I clicked on the I went through the trouble of finding the fucking gear icon for these embed things. Oh wait, are you sure you want to open it? Yes, motherfucker. I'm sure I want to open it. Don't make me click again. Easy. So I just need to make sure that I don't have any pointer events for that class. So this is one of the things I'd recommend doing. If you have a symbol with all your sort of local embeds, I put it in here. And so you can, I don't know if there's a performance benefit of doing it here versus the like in the project settings embed. The only difference is like one is, so if you put it locally in like, so I have like this aux folder, it's viewable, like everything you're doing in there is then calculated in the editor live. So, but right now, like I can't select the sticky meta unless I go through here. Like I click and it's gone, which is good because don't have those as links. Silly. Well, let's do it now. Sometimes things break too when you change them from regular blocks to link blocks. It's oh. Here. This is what's been great, like going through and doing a lot of cleanup. I'm just finding things that are just needlessly silly. Put it. Prints. Oh, this one might need to be catalogs photos. I'm just gonna leave that for now. But at least these are now clickable. Or some of them were. I don't know why all of them weren't. More cleanup. Fun stuff. But I do like there's a lot of little things I've been wanting to add, and I kind of wanted to have a stronger base before I went and did it. I think getting things optimized has been great. One thing, just having like a scroll indicator. So right now goes along the top. Very simple. May push it to something else. I've had the idea to have it just like stuck vertically as like a vertical progress line, dead center in the screen. It's kind of weird, and it's I don't know. With some of the layouts and where it overlapped, it was kind of strange, but um, yeah, I don't know. It's a little tough. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So this is still moving, which is not good because I had an idea for this that I went ahead and bailed out on. It was so like you still get the sense of like scrolling progress by having just like a small window that the headline sticks within. Um, doesn't work particularly well for this one just because of like the balance. It works much better for something like this where the original's title, unless you scrunch down the height, it largely stays there. Um, but it has room to kind of just like Rolodex or fuck you want. But there's still some lingering animation going on. So this was off. Yeah, where is? Oh, it's on here. So it was as the whole section scrolled, that title would then move. But a lot of this is where I want to get into done it that way. That was stupid. This is where I want to bring in like locomotive scroll. But I don't know. Yeah, like I know I was talking about it before. But moving large scale items in Webflow's native interaction, it's not good. The performance is dog shit. It's and from the testing I've done in Locomotive, like the amount of stuff you can move and the size of things that you can move, it's way more performant. I don't know what they're doing. Um, but I do want to get into that. Maybe that's something I'll carve out a stream for. But I feel like I've been doing a lot of Webflow. And I'm really trying to move on from this website. I think it's gotten to a place where it's cleaned up. A lot of the this section still um a lot of the bugs and things that are bothering me are gone, which I think is great. Um everything works properly. I think breathing a little bit of life in it, which I think like Webflow is one of the more popular subjects from what I can tell when I'm streaming. So I do want to keep doing them. And I think it will be to continue to add to it. But I think I need to spend some time now that I'm back, dedicated time to updating the stream assets, which I think could be done on stream. See how it goes. But then also doing things like this interactive page, I want to get this to a good spot where it's finally ready to go. I did a couple other minor updates that I've been wanting to do. I mean, when I say minor, I mean it. Just like having this title fade in instead of it just being revealed. I want to get these figured out. And there's always a long list of shit. The thing I am noticing though is that when the page loads, like you'd see the scroll progress bar, it's already showing progress, which it shouldn't. So I think it's just a matter of adjusting called like the start position. I don't think it should be 0. So if you live preview, so this is how I do it. You can see like 6% is the very top. Probably going to change as I change my spec. Now it's 5%. Maybe I'll just do 7% just to make sure, because I'd rather not have anything there. So maybe it's just going to be hidden for the first part of a scroll, but like right now I don't want anything. And so it's close, but like if I'm going to err on one side, it's going to be, let's give it a second. But as I get to the bottom, yeah, that flush. And I think it's subtle. I think a lot of people are doing it now. I think I try and give as much context because some of these pages are very long scrolls, and so this I think helps give context within the section, but in terms of like the overall experience, sometimes that's not totally clear. So just helping reinforce that. Still have this working. I don't know. I don't have it closing. I guess there's no reason to have it closed. But yeah, I mean, got rid of some of the animations. Here's one animation that's still happening. So I have like this global scroll in. The title swap, logo marquee. So this is one, like I went through and added these to every fucking page. Logo marquee. And I don't need to do it because now I have it working properly when it scrolls into view, which on load, it's in view. But I don't have to do it every time. I did it for a lot of pages. It doesn't sound that bad, but like when you have like all these tertiary, these product pages, the delta pages, delta catalog, or category pages, the delta detail page. Oh yeah, apology letter. I really want to get this thing fucking dialed in and make this like regular. And I don't know what the barrier is right now. I'm trying to figure it out. But this needs to be more regular. I think the problem is I'm working on this fucking site forever, and it's like I'm assuming people care more about this site, but I am going out uh for work right now, so it is important for this thing to be pretty buttoned up. So it's not time wasted, but it's just like um I'd like to be doing other things. Music production. What's the interior? Again, these combo classes I make. Telling why. Sticky. Sub. I'm really trying to think of like a laundry list of things to do. And it doesn't seem like morning streams are unannounced morning streams after a week off, probably. Should be pretty quiet. It is before 9 West Coast time. But like I said, I probably have to jump off just after 9. And then I won't be back for a couple days. I think maybe tomorrow night. I think is probably the soonest I'll be able to jump back on. But yeah, it will be something different. So if you want to put in requests for things that you want to see, I'm still figuring out I think today I'm gonna have my laptop. I'm gonna be able to work most of today, but I really want to get this feedback submission thing working. Right now, it does not work. And that's a problem. So, I think this would be something that's good. I should probably add it as a for like the stream bot. So I don't know if it only Twitch, but if you do exclamation point commands, you can see all the different commands that are available. Yeah, you can get the link to the Discord, the playlist channel, uptime. Never did the uptime one. I think it works. 42 minutes. There you go. Yeah, it's a short stream this morning. Kind of new going, but yeah, any requests for that? Let me know. I don't know. I feel like I need to make feedback a little easier and anonymous, most likely. I feel like people just don't want to vote for things on the stream, which I totally get. So yeah, so the one thing I have to figure out with this is exactly where this submission goes. So I just have to watch like a video today at some point. Like, this is how you get your submission forms. I have to figure out where they go. I probably have to create a new email account. I got fix the cart. That was bothering me. I think I'm gonna get rid of this Evan edit page. I just, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get into. Width is, that works for me. Again, more a little cleanup. And this page, like, it's gonna be phased out. What I might want to do at some point is make like a detail page for all of the collaborations, but I don't think I want to get into the business of like talking about this shit all the time and like making case studies. Like I can't even get my fucking site live and like working properly and then work on stuff I actually want to work on. So creating more work for myself is probably not right. In theory it sounds nice. But I actually don't have a lot of videos on here. And one of the things I did figure out how to clean up was removing what's it called? The grid elements. So because there's such a huge problem with images in grids, I don't know if it's specific to CMS images or not, but they are blurry. So I've systemized a lot of these layouts I was relying on grids with. So now where it makes sense, I can use images, which then can be responsive and then be lazy loaded as well. This is the one page where I really can't, or any of the instances that really rely heavily on these anchor links. I talked to Ari, I tried to figure out a way of like having a placeholder height, and really the only way of doing it is if I have all of these the same aspect ratio, um, which I don't think is terrible. I think, I don't know, it would be nice to have some variability, like especially some of these poster ones, like if these all have to be in portrait, kind of sucks. So the load time on this page, I don't think there's much I can do about it. Unless, I don't know, there's some other like, there's some other scripts I found and they use a lot of the custom attributes to add like load, something load equals lazy, and it lazy loads everything in that div, which would be helpful because if I could lazy load, I don't know if it'd be each of these list elements, I don't know, but something to think about because like yeah, the performance scores on this site are just fucking so yeah, now I feel like I'm aimlessly scrolling around. I'm trying to figure out what else I can do in the next 20 minutes outside ramble. No trash truck on the mic. That's good. Oh, to the top. Do on the footer. Something I've been thinking about having just sticking regardless. But from here, it's kind of seems important. Div block 795. Oh, maybe it's a good time to name this. C footer logo. No, we'll just call it. And where that button could go, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm thinking like just right here. Because you can navigate to that a lot of different ways. One of those being like a lot of like the contact. It's not so much on the home page. It's some of the other pages where you have like the anchor link at the bottom that takes you to the contact, which is technically the footer. That's all that is. Hats off to the noise reduction again. There are bottles being shattered right outside my window. Text block. Let's create a new div. So we'll want this here. And so this will be the placement div. This will be the positioning div within it. Footer section is relative, which is good. So if I position this absolute, that'll be relative. So absolute positioning just, it doesn't position elements within the flow. It kind of just like pastes it on top. So if I do at the bottom, it's going to paste it at the bottom of whatever is relative. So if it goes up the chain, basically, it'll go to whatever is relative. And if you have nothing relative, it'll do it to the body. Absolute position things to the body. So that, for some reason, took me a long time to wrap my head around. Probably just slow. I don't know. And so this will be. I might not even need that positioning to. I don't know why the text is. Yeah, I'll probably need it. So I can make this actually T short. Link is the combo class I've been using for everything. That adds that dotted line underneath. And because I'm using that, that's why I typically add this in here as well. So if I do one view width, that should help things. And so because I have this additional class, this color is being, I've been trying to reduce the amount of instances and like, I try to be less specific with where I'm specifying my colors or global attributes. I try and put that as high as I can. So if I need to override it anywhere, it's pretty easy to do. So you can see here, overridden it with this positioning div. That's all I really need it. The only thing, I don't think I have top arrow as a shortcut. So I have my arrow. I thought I did have this. Let me just double check if I have it as vertical line. Arrow? I do not. Okay. And again, shift space gives you those, you're able to do multiple consecutive spaces. Because otherwise, like most times in Webflow, it just doesn't read it. It tries to condense it. So you can put a bunch of spaces in there, but it'll just mash it into one. So this is so much better for me than doing like creating 3 different text elements, adding custom padding between them. That then is, I mean, it's not that hard to do M units. I like doing it. Maybe there's a reason why you shouldn't. I don't know. But I don't know what that is. So go ahead, convert this to link block. And then not external, so within the page. Oh, section. Choose a section and top. So top is something I also put in the aux. You can see over on the left side. Can't see my cursor. So that is on every single page. It's the same name, it's the same ID, all caps. Makes it consistent. And so the more like global things you can bury in global elements, I think it's helpful. This aux and preload thing has been super helpful. I don't want to do it here. Oh, so I wasn't at the bottom. That's why. What I should do, what I am gonna do, is so I'm gonna get rid of this padding at the bottom, and the way I've found is much smarter is so I know this margin or this gap here is for view width. So now this is always going to be in the center, and I can just vertical center it. There you go. So another thing I like to do, which I should do uniformly, I should put it on T-link, or T-short link is the combo class, where I add additional padding. This just makes the hit marker for clicking a little bit bigger, so you don't have to be, so if you don't have that padding, it doesn't, I don't have it, it makes the target much smaller. So I might actually increase this a lot. Just because like if you're thinking about how things cascade down to mobile, you don't want the tiniest like you want a little extra padding. And if you can bake that into your desktop, which then cascades all the way down, great. I'd recommend doing it. Now, got a little extra hit marker. Now I have a to the top button. And so this is like the explore, takes you into this section. Oh no, I don't have it. That's the other pages. But yeah, so now that is across every single page. I do want to check the, what's it called? I'm curious what happens if I do this. Oh, it was there. So I'm gonna have to figure out bugs, watch some bugs. And also, one thing I did learn that I think would be helpful. So when you make SVGs, if you do any sort of type-based SVGs, like this is actually the font and then just masked out and offset in different ways. If you don't outline it, supposedly, again, this is my non-super developer. Maybe this is obvious to everyone else, but it'll try and read the font. And so if you don't have the font, which I don't think most people do, actually, no one should have my font, it's going to come up with some default fallback font, which for me, because it's not specified, I guess it's some serif font. I don't know. I thought I'd specified the body fallback to go to sans serif or like Arial and then sans serif, but not that it really matters. The bigger point is like outline your fonts, because it will look correct on your screen because you have the font. If you're using any custom font, if you're using a system font, I'm guessing it's probably fine. Like if you have Arial, I don't know why then you wouldn't do text, but unless you wanted to do something custom like that, offset stacker. Yeah, doing all right on time. Still got a little more time. I'm gonna grab another sip of coffee. Give me like 20 seconds. All right. Drinking too much coffee, but that's not. Um, I had a train of thought. I got distracted. So yeah, I think should probably stop doing updates at this point. Or no, I could probably dive into it. I actually do need to push some of these fixes. But I think, yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, I do want to get into other things other than Webflow, unless there's very specific requests for it. I don't want it to be everything I need to move on. My whole point of this kind of passion project time is to do other things that my website houses. So the website's meant to be a like, this is how I showcase what I do. And yes, it's great to have it do more, but it also needs to done. So that is going to be the next phase. I don't know if I feel good enough about music production yet. I think doing the video assets for the stream could be interesting, but I'm going to spend the next like day or two really ironing it out. And like I was saying beginning of the stream, I don't know if a schedule is quite realistic. I'll try. Maybe I can do like one or two um a week of like these are like the set days, and like if that's something that really sticks with people and really helps people, um like that's how they carve out time, then maybe I'll just need to learn how to live to a schedule. Um, um, so yeah, that'll be another thing. I think time request on the not feedback. Um, I think this should be schedule vote is what I'm like. Vote schedule. Because there's so many different time zones that I've seen on here. And that's what makes it hard, is because like if I do it too late in the evening, almost everyone besides West Coast is asleep. Because I don't think I have a big, like I think the areas that it's daytime, I don't think I have a lot of people watching. Morning time, I don't know. Mornings don't seem before 9 o'clock. I don't know if it's too big. I don't know if people are going into the offices now, so midday streaming is not necessarily as good as it used to be. So maybe I just need to have this in here. I don't know if it's a plugin, like, but this is of interest regardless. Um, embed poll. Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna just use a third. Oh, I can do Survey Monkey. Okay. I think I need to make this page a priority. Really get this done soon. Because I think it would be a great place. I don't know what works and yeah, I'm gonna spend time on this probably today. But yeah, I think I'll be back Wednesday evening. I think there's a request to do some photos. Maybe I can dive into some photos for a little bit. Yeah, everything. I think Webflow will wind down. Maybe I'll collect a list of things I want to do in terms of updates. I think the scroll progress was one. The logo animation, just as a loop, was one. I still need to do the playlist open state. It's pretty botched right now. I like started working on it, and then I was like, I don't know if that's really what I want to do, or the direction I want to go. Yeah, it's fucked. Because I want it to be just like the bottom right sort of quadrant is where this would live. So if you like click on it, it's something that's contained. But it's just hard with these embeds and the sizes, lack of control in terms of like the sizes you can do. So it seems to make more sense as a full screen thing. Um, it's probably going to be problem. I bet you less people will make it to the playlist, but that's okay. I'd rather they know what they're clicking into. I've also thought about just doing like a little like launch playlist. Maybe that's easier. But the other thing that's nice about this, which actually um do, this is more like a content list right now. What I do is links. Section link, social link. I thought I had like a horizontal div for contain, but I guess. So launch the playlist is one action I want to have. ceiling 2. This one I want to have go to no ISO pay. Nope. So yeah, so that'll help kind of some passive like education. I think there could be something cool to be done about this. If it's going to be full screen, I want it to be not shitty, ideally. So I gotta figure out something. Probably just do some designing in Sketch. This is one of those things where it's like the development's not going to change too much in terms of what I can do. So that this arrow needs to be different. This guy. Yeah, so that launches the player. So do not open a new tab. Yeah. I wonder if I thought I had a light version of this. Ugh. Don't want to go with that. It'd be nice if you could do fills on SVGs. I know you technically can, but through webflow, if you could do it. Name this image dash ISO playlist, or no, image playlist. So I think playlist is kind of its own section. I think having this, it's something I do want to bake into the font too. So I can just do a like a ligature shortcut of multiple characters in order to create or to show one custom character. Because it's kind of, it'd be nice to have. There's two ways of doing it, really. I think actually what might be better is if I do. I'm not missing text. Airport duty. Where is it? So if I do like parentheses, oh, no, what I could do is, it's not going to work right now. So instead of like anytime I want to have like the no ISO O, which is that kind of duality between the O and the E, I could do something like this or this. So I've been using brackets as kind of my activator in my ligatures to pull from custom characters. I also do. Ooh, it's been a while since I did it. Is it K? Well, clearly I haven't used it as much as I thought I would. Fuck. Delta. I don't know what Delta character is anymore. But it could be a nice like subtle thing, like for this. If it was, I don't know. I think that's actually played out. I don't know if I would actually do that. But in the instances where I do want to talk about no ISO, that kind of custom character, that's something I can add to the font and then I can make it accessible anywhere. Instead of like if I wanted to, it's either going to be an SVG, so then it's not live text, or if I'm going to do custom characters just with that O, then I have to do all the placement, the sizing, make sure it's the right size for the font. It's just a hassle. So if I can bake it into the font, position's always the same, scale's the same, it's going to make my life a lot fucking. Yeah, I gotta call it. I think I gotta start heading to the airport pretty soon here. So yeah, short stream. Hopefully the sound quality is better. I'm gonna do some changing with the filters so I can bring back rain that I miss so dearly. And then hopefully it'll get the clipping better. Gonna work on assets, music production, all this shit like I've been saying I've been working on. I'm gonna actually start working on. Yeah, I've been putting it off, just trying to like get this site, as I've keep saying, it just keeps grabbing my attention and it's become more work than I think it. Not that it's worth that I think I need to deprioritize it and come back periodically, breathe some life into it, do things like this little logo animations, add some Easter eggs, just do shit like that. I think it would be useful to come back to. And you can see my flicker is not quite working. Fuck. I try to make it more subtle. So again, figuring out looping animations is something I've just been having issues with. You can see, okay, so I thought I fixed again, you can't see my cursor position, but this vertical scroll position at the top, it's still coming up with a bit of a line. Probably because my screen aspect ratio is just so odd. And it'll also depend on how long the pages are, so it's just strange that I have to do this offset and it's totally going to be random depending on like how tall the person's browser is. But 10% ought to do it. It's kind of long though. Well, maybe I'm just gonna have to live with like some people are gonna see it. Well, it's just out of my control. Yeah, so I'm gonna publish this, work on some more cleanup, but I'll be back with a clearer plan. I just had this idea to jump on live this morning and I didn't really prep, so I'll be better, but yeah, I really want to make these more regular. So, yep. All right. Thank you to everyone who came through. I think there were a couple people showed up, but real quiet in the morning so far. So, if you listen to me ramble for a little bit, appreciate it. These streams will be much better going forward. So, all right, I'll be back hopefully tomorrow. So, see you guys.